Hello and welcome to the IS365 presentation of Group 6. So the group members are Derek Kasheta, Sasha Nowak, and Vanessa Schmidt, as well as myself, Matt Richoff. We're going to be presenting on password sniffers today, and at a high level, these take advantage of a lack of login page SSL encryption to steal passwords or other sensitive data. At a high level, they work by listening to a network and capturing sensitive data that passes through the network adapter. These password sniffers can be used to intercept data from a number of popular application layer protocols, including POP3, IMAP4, and SMTP for email, FTP for file transfer, and HTTP for common web requests. While the use of HTTPS, which is a combination of HTTP with SSL encryption, can thwart this type of attack, it is actually not uncommon for websites to use plain HTTP for their login pages, and this can leave their users vulnerable to password sniffing attacks. So there are actually a variety of sites that generally don't use HTTPS, and that can include Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And all of these are used extensively for social media, so they really represent pretty significant personal privacy dangers if someone is able to get access to your account. Another issue that adds to the danger here is the fact that password sniffers are very easily obtainable. It's just a simple download and a very easy interface to learn, so you don't really need any particular technical knowledge to carry out an attack. So a specific password sniffer we'll be presenting on today is SniffPass. So we will open up the browser, go to Google. The specific company that publishes this is NIRSoft, so we'll search for NIRSoft and SniffPass. Just a very simple search to get to the website. So now that we're there, you can just click on that one. They have a pretty nice website set up with a description of the technology and a whole host of information that you might need to successfully use it. They describe it as something that can be used to recover passwords, which is somewhat questionable, but it could be used for that function as well. So you can see, going down, they have a version history with different features and when they were added, and different version numbers. They have a system requirements section. It really works with any version of Windows. They also have pretty detailed instructions on how to use it, and then they have a place where you can download it here at the bottom. So they have both 64 and 32-bit versions, and we'll show you how to check that real quick on a Windows machine. It's very simple. Just right-click on Computer from the Start menu, click Properties, and it'll open up. You can see System Type. It says 32-bit operating system on this particular machine. Most machines that you buy new are now 64-bit, but whatever. So we'll just download the 32-bit version, since that's the machine we have, and we will open up the executable from the downloads folder, or wherever your downloads will go to from your browser. It's just one executable in the file. It does come with a README and some other information, but the actual application is pretty easy to find. So you can see this is the basic interface. We will close out of the downloads folder here and get this on its own screen in just a second. You can see that the user interface is pretty simple. It's just a regular old, window that can be used to get information from web requests or whatever you might need. You can see it's got fields for the password and the username, and a variety of other fields just for data about what you captured. So if you open this capture options, you can see there's a raw sockets option with options for which wireless you want to use. Raw sockets doesn't work on all machines, but in our case we'll use that just for a quick demonstration. They do have a password test website set up for you, just so you can test out their product. So we'll enter in demo and password to get to this little blank page that they set up. Obviously they didn't want to have anything real on this page. You can see they did indeed capture that, and actually captured it twice, which is actually an option you can choose. We'll stop capturing here, go to exclude duplicates, which if we had that checked at the beginning it would have worked to only get the single instance of that. But that's just one of the options, and like we said, that doesn't work on all machines. So you can also use the WinPCAP or the network monitor driver. You can see the options here on this dialog box. So we will show you how to download those drivers. And it's real easy. It's right on this page here. It specifically states that you need either the WinPCAP or the Microsoft Network Monitor driver. Right on this line here, it's a very simple link to follow to just go ahead and download the driver. And you can see they've got 64 and 32-bit drivers, and obviously we already determined that we would need to use 32-bit, so we'll go ahead and download that. Then you can see it starts up a very simple little wizard. We've already got this installed, so we won't show you the exact options, but it's very simple just to follow the steps that they give and just get it installed relatively quickly. So we'll just hit cancel since we've already got this downloaded. And we'll click finish after a little warning that's saying that it didn't actually get installed. So from there we can check on the new options, which has the network monitor driver 3.x at the bottom. We'll start capturing. We'll go to capture options again, click network monitor driver, and we'll choose a wireless card, which you can see. It's a pretty easy choice because it's the only one that has an actual IP address instead of just 0.0.0.0. We'll change it to promiscuous mode, and then we will go ahead and click OK. So that's now scanning using that driver. And we will show you another demo real quick. This obviously works for a wider variety of websites than raw sockets, which we mentioned doesn't work for everything. So we'll go to Twitter real quick, and we will demonstrate its use there. And it's loading. So you can see we've got the Twitter homepage up here. We'll enter in our username as whousestwitter@test.com. We'll then go into the password box and type in #Twitter stinks. And we will click sign in. So if this worked right, we should then have a field in SniffPass that has the correct username and password that we entered. And as you can see, it did indeed capture it. So we've got a who uses Twitter and Twitter stinks as the password. You can just double click these to auto fit the columns, kind of like any given Windows interface. You can see we did indeed get the username and password, and I'll show you some other data about it. So we'll clear that out, and next up we're going to show how to get people's passwords who are not on the same machine as you. Obviously this is only local so far, but SniffPass does provide an option with the network monitor driver to capture passwords on the network. So as you can see, it's just a simple monitor mode button. You can see there's only really one option in which adapter you want. That's generally the case. Then you can see there's a little box that says switch to monitor mode. It also gives you a warning about how this is going to lose your wireless connection, which it will, but that's not really a big deal if you're scanning for those passwords. You can see they've got options for which layers and which channels you want to use. You can use a specific one or just scan all of them or some combination of them. You can also see that you've got a timeout per channel where you can dictate how quickly it switches between. So just after clicking apply, you can see it says it's on and it's scanning, and it's flipping between the different channels on the different layers. So this is currently working. We'll minimize that. Make sure again that we have the Dell Wireless or whichever mini card you're using on promiscuous mode, and click OK. And so that's now scanning Wi-Fi traffic for usernames and passwords instead of just local traffic, which obviously is much more useful for hacking purposes, whereas the previous feature we showed was better for password recovery. So we won't actually show any results here just because it's not really legal, and also you'd have to generally have actually people putting their passwords in on the network, and during the short time we scanned there we did not have that. Another thing of note is that this works with certain wireless cards and with certain ones it doesn't. They have some documentation on their webpage of which wireless cards are compatible and which aren't, but not real extensive. So one thing you might have noticed too is that we didn't really show the WinPCAP driver at all. It doesn't really unlock any additional functionality. It's just a regular old driver. It's relatively older, and it doesn't actually even have everything that the Microsoft Network Monitor driver does, but we'll show you how to download it anyway, just in case you did want to use it. It's a very simple, again, link to from their page, and just a very easy installer wizard to follow. So that pretty much covers the different options that SniffPass provides. So apart from that, that's about the extent of it. You can use SniffPass for password recovery or for getting people's passwords on your network. And I guess the primary way to defend against this is simply to use HTTPS connections when you're in the library or doing whatever you're doing. So thanks for watching our video, and we'll see you later.